Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Ram Plane Reviews. Before we begin today, well, it's a Boeing special episode for the most part. I also wanted to mention, you might have noticed the mic quality is not as good on this, and it probably will be for several videos this week, and that's just because of my recording situation at the moment. I do not have my good mic, I have my headset, and hopefully it's not too bad. Otherwise, everything should be good. And we're ready to go. Oh yes, and one more thing I wanted to mention. Remember, the place to submit planes is guard13007.com/KSP/submit. Some people are still emailing me. You need to not do that, please. So we're starting with a Boeing 747-650 by the Swedish Sloth? Yes, the Swedish Sloth. I only have one monitor on me today, so I may have some weird little interruptions and stuff in my thinking or whatever as I go to double check on things. Like right now I just went to check if I had any action group info, and the answer is no, I don't. Also, I just noticed this is using turbojets on it, and it's got couplers for something. Oh, they're up there. Well, at least one of them's up there. Hold on. Where's the other one? The other one's down there. I doubt those are meant to be used, but they're on the staging anyhow. I'm pretty sure that is supposed to you should have deactivated this or whatever. Let's see, what does this say? We have mass, we have fuel, we have electricity, a part count, and a crew, including the Kerbals, the pilots, 36. Is that including 5 pilots? I assume 5 pilots, since I believe that can hold 5. Is it 5? I don't remember. Oh, well, it doesn't say. Oh, but I can look at the crew tab, obviously. It's only 4 that it can hold. Okay. Anyhow, like I said, today it's mostly Boeings. So we're going to have... yeah, it's mostly Boeings and passenger jets. I don't think I have any non-Boeing passenger jets, but I have some other stuff I may or may not get to, depending on how long this takes to check out. Let's go ahead and test some action groups. 1 is some flaps. 2, I do not seem to have noticed any difference with 2. 3, seems to be no difference there either. 4, again, doesn't seem to be a difference. 5, 6, let's go ahead and lower the landing gear. Yeah, I just went through and checked all of the action groups, and it doesn't seem any of them do anything. And of course, there are the things that are probably not supposed to be ejected, which I'm ejecting anyhow. Those were our flight sensors, so of course now everything's going to go unstable and wrong, which is why I'm now doing a barrel roll, which is probably not advisable at this altitude. However, and when I say barrel roll, of course I meant aileron roll. If that was actually a barrel roll, we would have died a lot. Turning pretty well. It's flying really well. I can see why you use the turbofans for their extra thrust, essentially, because at this much weight, you need quite a bit of thrust to be able to maneuver and keep up a decent speed, which is what we are doing now, which is pretty cool. I just noticed that the front landing gear, yep, it's embedded inside there. Oh well. Also, this is clipping slightly, and that bugs me. But otherwise, flying all right. You know, it's a passenger plane. What do you expect? It's going to be somewhat bulky and not the best at maneuvering. However, this is pretty decent. And yes, I'm actually doing a barrel roll right now. There's not much barrel to this barrel roll, but it is a barrel roll. And now I'm going to stop it because we're going down quite a lot. And I don't want to crash. And yeah, we're going to be fine. Going to get pretty low, but we're going to be fine. Yep. Beautiful. Oh, I just noticed how he's using the landing gear for the nacelle structures out on the wings. I don't know what those are actually for, but yeah, that looks cool. Next up, we have a much bigger Boeing 747. I feel this one is more appropriate to the name. This one is by Trolling Sama, I believe it was, or was it Troll Sama? Troll Sama. And I just noticed it's actually got multiple Mark IIIs put together to make the fuselage rather than a single one. I actually hadn't noticed just how big it was, even though I knew it was much bigger until then. Yes, this is definitely a 747. The other one was way too small. And this, my friends, is a 747. Also, the cockpit is different from how I thought it was. Oh, you know what? I'm confusing it with another plane that I'm taking a look at today. And I just noticed, how many of these engines do we have? Because there's 4 big ones, but in our staging here, we have multiples clipped in. It looks like we have 3 engines per engine. 3 engines per engine. Yeah, that seems reasonable. However, it looks like they've been positioned to not be entirely 100% clipped in each other, so they're actually not Z-fighting a lot. Like, there's a little bit of obvious, like, texture right there. Like, obviously this could be better aligned, probably, but it's pretty good. I like that. Oh, okay, I didn't see how that loaded in because I was looking at the info for this. Apparently this uses some weird wheel tricks in the wings to make the wings function, and you shouldn't use those wheels to land on. That's interesting. I'm looking for it. I don't really see what it means. Apparently the wings were like super wobbly and he had to do some weird stuff to it. It was made in 1.1.3, obviously. That's what I'm in right now. And apparently, yeah, I mean, if it was 1.2, then you would have, of course, the strutting. Oh dear, let's not hit the tail. Let's not have a tail strike on the back on the very beginning. Okay, let's just kind of try to hold her at this angle until we can get up off the ground. I don't have any action group info. I'm also not actually getting off the ground yet. Okay, let's go ahead and tilt her up just a little bit more. We'll actually let ourselves get off the ground. And we're going to begin a slight roll, as well as pulling up landing gear. And it's because I do not want to go find that carrier, that aircraft carrier. If that loads in with this loaded in, they're both very high part count. That would not be good. This plane apparently seats 348, and that's not including the pilots, which is pretty freaking crazy. Apparently you can relocate the entire Space Center in one go with this thing, and I just noticed it's got lights on the tail, so you can light up the logo, the icon on the tail, and I love how you've done that. You've made a large tailplane, but you've also used the actual tail as part of the surface so that we get the flag decal there, and you've actually lit it up as well. That is very cool. I also like the use of the big S elevons here on the tail, so the tail has the proper amount of surface that it should have. This thing is definitely cheating in that it's like using a bunch of parts in ways that weren't really meant to be used, but it works really well. Like the way it's all put together, the way everything is set up, it looks smooth, it looks correct, it looks good, it flies good. And yeah, the thing was in the description, it said it flies surprisingly smoothly, and I would have to agree on that based on my current flying of it. It is flying surprisingly smooth. I like it very much. And like I said, there's no action groups info, so I don't know if we have any or what. I just hit 1. 1 seems to have activated some spoilers, so I'm going to put that back down. 2, I can't tell what 2 did, if it did anything. Looks like it's flaps. Maybe. It was maybe flaps. I'm not quite sure. I hit it again to try and turn it back off. 3. 3 is definitely some flaps, it looked like. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because some things will move and then they'll go back. 4. That's really hard to tell. I think I'd have to land this to try and figure out what those action groups are, or actually just look in the SPH and see what they are, because you know, it's too much of a monstrosity to really get a good look at what's going on. I do like the way you've put together these pieces with some holes in between, so it makes me think of an actual Boeing 747 or any, you know, big passenger plane where there's actually the wing is like a composite of like multiple pieces. I don't know if you haven't been on an airplane, like look up a video of like what it looks like coming in for a landing or on takeoff or whatever, because it's pretty cool sometimes seeing the way the wings can kind of split up, especially landing. Like takeoff, they normally just have flaps down, but but not all the way down. On landing, they'll have flaps all the way down. They might have thrust reversers on. They'll have like spoilers up. Like you'll see the whole wing like come apart into pieces, you know, on purpose, obviously, not actually like falling apart. But in any case, I'm gonna go fly this into a mountain. Yeah, as in into a mountain, not past the mountains, not into the mountains, like flying through the mountains. No, I'm gonna go fly it into a mountain. You know, at this thing's rate of ascent, and you know, the angle of attack and all that, and the fact that it's still losing speed, even though I cut it down a bit. We weren't gonna make it over these mountains anyhow. Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Looks like we're not going to make it over the mountains to the east of the Kerbal Space Program Center, and, excuse me, the Kerbal Space Center. I don't know why I specified program. It's like I'm saying the name of a game or something. I don't really know why, but in any case, looks like we're going to be crash landing in the mountains, so everybody please hold on to your seats. I'm now deploying the landing gear, and Looks like we'll be coming down in just about a minute. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But everybody fasten your seatbelts and hold on to something. Or somebody. We might stall instead of crashing, but I'm going to attempt to pull up now. That went well. Oh, here's one that's still going. Will it make it down? Will it not be severely damaged? It already is severely damaged, I'm sure. Wow. This is great. So yeah. Let's see. Wow, it's a pretty big debris field, if I do say so myself. Let's see what happens if I try to return on this one. Yeah, it'll let me. Because it's not one of the ones that's moving. How many pieces are still falling down the mountain? Looks like most of it has come to a stop up top. Some pieces are still rolling down, though. That one is having a heck of a good time just vibrating around. But yeah, turns out if you crash a 747 into the mountain at high speed, this is what happens. That was surprisingly awesome, actually. That's really cool. I'm just going to leave all this out here. Alright, so before I go to the next plane, I am going to take a look at the action groups here and see if I can figure out what they do. Looks like, yep, like I said, this one is spoilers. 2, 3, okay, so it really was just spoilers on one. Alright. Would have been kind of cool if we had flaps too, but eh. Alright, so now we've got a 777, so we're going down to a much smaller thing. And apparently this is supposed to be pretty accurate with the exception of the front landing gear, which I do like how instead of just clipping it into something, you've actually made it its own little custom landing gear, like bay, using a bay enclosure and stuff. Like that's cool. That's actually really cool. I like that. And oh, that's really interesting the way you've built the wings off there. Looks surprisingly well. Like, you'd think that wouldn't work doing that, but it does. Oh, and this, like the way you've hooked all this up, this actually looks really good. Wow. I'm really liking this. This is by, who's it by? Pieliker96, and it's got a bunch of flaps, front gear bay, thrust reversers. Oh yeah, thrust reversers. It's got a bunch of flaps and stuff. It's got a bunch of action groups. You're supposed to control it from this Stay Putnik on the front here, so that you can obviously control it properly. Is it possible? Where's? Oh, I don't know where the actual thing is for the. I can't click on the actual fairing controller. I was gonna turn it off so I don't accidentally activate it. But in any case, this looks pretty good, pretty spot on, literally with the lift. That's kind of funny. Let's give it a fly. Have I said interesting too many times this episode? Because I just remembered that someone pointed out to me that I'm saying interesting far too much in these videos. Like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, this is cool. Oh, that's interesting. Blah, blah, blah. And, yeah. So 1 resets all the flaps. Let's see, 2. Okay, that's the inner flap. So you can see it just puts that down, right? 3 sets, well, it says outer flaps, if I remember correctly. So it's kind of, that's interesting. It's that. Then 4. What was 4? 4 is like leading edge flaps, it said, or something. Oh shit, we do have leading edge flaps. Hold on. Leading edge flaps, that's cool. And then 5. What was 5? What was 5? Oh yeah, it's the front gear bay door thing. And we have 6 for the thrust reversers on these big old engines, which we are not going to use at this time, of course. So let's set 4, 3, 2. Alright, 4, 3, 2. That means all the flappies are deployed, so we can play Flappy Bird. I mean, what? I'm just saying stupid things. Alright, I do need to control from the Stay Putnik, though. I can get to it. Oh dear. Did I just... I think your rear landing gear are just a little too far forward. Man, I really can't get at it. Oh, come on. I want the Stay Putnik in there. I can't. Hold on. I might be able to do this. No. Can I? Nope. Wait a second. I know what I can do. because there's that thing where you can focus on different... Oh yeah, this is 1.1.3. Never mind, I can't do that. Hold on, I was like right there on it. Oh wait. Oh fuck. Nope, this. Nope, that's the shell. Why is it moving? Stop. I think this whole thing is turning slightly. Yeah, it seems to me like the whole thing is turning slightly. There we go. Okay, control from here. Yeah, the whole plane is definitely turning slightly on the runway on its own. Okay, well, in any case, let's go ahead and fire her up. Activate the SAS, turn off the brakes, and get going very, very slowly. We have a very low ground clearance with this thing on those engines, so that's kind of scary. But otherwise, we're all good. Do these have fuel in them? They do. Awesome. Does this have fuel? Yes, it does. Oh, we have oxidizer in there, I guess, for balancing purposes. In any case, we should be able to pull off the ground pretty quickly, considering the rear landing gear are really on the pivot here. So let's just get the nose up. There we go. We're in the air, so I'm going to start bringing up the gear already. And I'm going to hit 5 to close little bay for the nose gear. And I'm going to hit F12 so we can see the overlays here. I'm also going to go ahead and... Wow, that is interesting, the way different things are tilting and controlling and stuff right now. Oh, we're getting actually a bit of lift off of the fuselage itself for this turn. This thing is very nimble. I'm surprised how nimble this is. Alright, so we're going to get it like this. We're going to go ahead and reset all the flaps so you can see everything kind of turns off. So 2 sets those like that. 3 sets these like that. So those are really useful for braking, really. 4 sets the under ones like that, so that's good for getting a bit of extra lift. 5, of course, is the bay up front, and 6 is thrust reversers. So, there we go. It's a 777, and it is nice. It's nice to fly. Ooh, it's got really strong yaw performance. Like, way too strong yaw performance. That's amazing. I like it. I'm gonna go crash land it. Actually, let's throttle the engines all the way up. And then, as we're getting really low, as we're coming in here, I'm just going to thrust reverser. Actually, I'm going to... I'm not sure when I want to thrust reverser them, because... Yeah, let's thrust reverser them now. And just, we're going to come in and skid along the ground. Oh, we're drifting a plane now. This is not good. Oh, shit! Didn't mean to land that hard! Ooh. Okay. I think the pilots died. But most of the plane's fine, so it's all good. Right? Right? Yeah, it was pretty bad. Now, I'm not sure how long this episode is actually going to be at this moment, because this episode contained a lot of things that take longer than they usually do, so my time estimation is going to be off. But this looks really cool, actually. It's like, it doesn't quite look right, but the ways it doesn't quite look right, it still looks really good. It's just, it's really interesting how this, it looks good, even though it's just interesting. It's so cool. And then there's a Mark II drone core under the cockpits to get a proper control space from. It says, is it this? Does it mean this one? I would assume it means that one up in the nose. Unless there's another one in here. There's something right here. That's one of the cockpits. No, there's something right here. No, not the engine nacelle. Oh, liquid fuselage piece right there. Yeah, this is really cool. This is a B-1 Lancer, as I already said. Looks pretty good. Looks fairly accurate. I mean, considering the limitations, yeah, fuck, man. I made one of these a long time back, and I still like the way mine looked, but this looks pretty damn good, too. Like, I'm not sure which I would prefer, but they're both really cool. Let's see, we got afterburners, a front bay, and a rear bay. Oh, that's cool. And this is by Suleiman, who I always say their name wrong, and yeah. Alright, so, holy shit. Yeah, the cockpit that we're in is like this one, I think. So it's like super slanted, like he was saying. So we need to come in here and control from here because that will give us a much better time of things. Let's go ahead and full throttle it with the afterburners and get her off the ground as quickly as we can, which I'm guessing, yeah, I was going to say, I'm guessing is going to be really quickly, especially with the afterburners on. After all, this was a supersonic bomber. That's what it's intended to be. And the cool thing his has that mine didn't have is actual bays, because when I did it, yeah, okay, I've decided. His is definitely awesome. Oh, we actually have multiple drone cores back here, not just that bit up front. That's interesting. Yeah, and they kind of stick out right there. Huh. Yeah, but he has an actual proper bomb bay right there. And he has another one back here, but he said this one doesn't have any room in it. Oh no, ooh. Okay, so here's what you should do. You should deploy limit this kind of to there, or at least maybe, uh-oh, the whole thing just froze. Oh, you know what? I'm loading in that carrier. I would set the whole thing's like deploy limit to something like, oh, that's still clipping slightly. Like right there. That way, you can still drop some things from there. You can still store things in there. Especially if you fit one of those rotary things from B9 in here, which actually, now that I'm looking closer, because of the wings, that wouldn't work. However, if you rotated the wings outwards for like the low altitude flight before you launch, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, that is so cool, being able to like look at the bomb bay from outside. Oops, that was the afterburners. Front bomb bay opening! Dun dun dun! Oh, wait. Look at that. That is so cool. Oops, wrong button again. And close them both back up. That is so cool. That is so cool. Alright, now to do something really, really stupid with it. Since I accidentally loaded this in, why not go aim ourselves right at the goddamn carrier? What could possibly go wrong? Did I turn on the afterburners? I don't remember. But in any case, I want our velocity vector to line up with our target. And we're going to just go crashing into it at high speed. Okay. Come on, we got to pull down just a bit. Alright. To the right. To the right. To the right more! Pull up! Pull right! Never mind, we're all good! Yes! Slightly missed, but we mostly hit it. And did that do a single bit of goddamn damage? It looks like it didn't. I like how the water effects are above the water, like on the carrier. Yeah! Holy shit! Like, I'm sure if I switch to it, it's got like some, well, there's a piece of us. What is this? I'm on a probe debris. I'm on debris. Okay, here we go. I'm on board this, and I'm sure we did some damage. Okay, at least to this piece. 167%. But no actual visual dent, even though we did that. Some damage there. Like, we literally just damaged one piece of it. I bet without Kerbal Crash System, that would have actually blown up. Oh wait, no, there's definitely a dent there. I think. It's hard to tell. I think there's a dent like right along the end here because it doesn't match with this anymore. But then again, it might have actually been like that. Let's compare notes. Let's compare this side. Yeah, see, it would have been completely flush, and it's like slightly not. But it's like the tiniest little dent. We just fired a massive plane into it at high speed, and most of it hit the water, I mean, so yeah. This aircraft carrier was in episode 59, if I remember correctly, when I first introduced it and reviewed it, so, you know, go back there. I just really like it, so it stayed around. And that's all for this time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, favorite, dislike, hateful comment, etc., etc. Consider supporting me on Patreon and stuff. I need to remember to mention that more often. But thanks for watching, and as always, I will see you in space.